Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. Today's video is going to be another full face of first impressions. So basically there was a lot of Black Friday sales going on, so I've kind of brought enough makeup to do 2 first impressions this month. I kind of went a bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I saw these Black Friday sales and I was just like, And also I'm going on a no-buy next year, so I feel like I kind of need to get all of this spending out of my system. And now that's it. No more makeup. I'm not buying any more. We will be doing 2 first impressions this month for December. Let's hope I can upload them in December. That would be great, wouldn't it? So I got the makeup for these 2 first impression videos. I got quite a lot of it from Beauty Bay. I got some of it from Superdrug, some from Look Fantastic. Got a few e.l.f. things that have not arrived yet. That's for the second video. We've got a variety of different brands here, so this should be fun. So the first lot of makeup is all in here. We've got a variety of brands. We've got some Kimchi stuff. I've got a Sample Beauty eyeshadow palette, Physicians Formula, Missguided, Flower Beauty. We've got a variety of brands here. I'm excited. Some of these look pretty damn good. The main thing I'm super excited to try is the eyeshadow palette, which is the Blooming Lovely palette from Sample Beauty. Just look at this. Isn't that like stunning? It looks like a painting palette. It just looks, oh my god. I cannot wait to try this out. It's just, oh. And I've done some swatches as well, and oh my god. Damn, I can't wait to try this out. For eyeshadow, the first thing that I'm going to try out is concealer, actually. So I decided to get the RCMA Premier Liquid Concealer. So RCMA is obviously the brand that's kind of well known for like their setting powders. I do have one of their setting powders. I've not used it in a very long time though. So they have a concealer and a foundation that they've come out with recently. See, it might have actually come out a little while ago, but it only came to Beauty Bay recently, so I don't know like if it is super new like everywhere else, but it is actually quite expensive. I think this was like about £21, which is very expensive for a concealer, and the foundation was like 30 something, so quite bougie prices there. So I'm hoping that this is going to be good. So this is what it looks like. It is a sort of pump it out, kind of like a mini foundation really. I got this in the shade G10, which is, I think there's like a few 10 shades, but like with different undertones. I don't remember what sort of undertone this is meant to have. I think it's like a more neutral to golden, I believe is what it said. This is meant to have bold pigmentation and to cover all types of blemishes. Well, I love that because I am blemished, and now that masks are compulsory again, the blemishes are going to be thriving. So it's supposed to be full coverage, but it's also supposed to hydrate and replenish the skin, enhancing your natural beauty without clogging your pores. Well, isn't that just lovely? So as I usually do in first impressions, I'm going to test this out on my eye area to see what the coverage is like without any foundation on. I've got a 50-hour work week, so I'm pretty knackered. So we got bags, like my eyes are just ugh. So you know, let's see how this covers them. So the shade looks pretty good actually. That's quite fair. I would say the undertone's sort of like neutral but with a little bit of warmth in it, but it's not like super duper yellow, but I would say it's more warm than it is like cool. I like that shade though. I feel like that's a good shade. It looks pretty pale, which I obviously need. I've got a good feeling about this. I feel like just based on how it's feeling, it seems like it's going to be like quite highly pigmented and full coverage. I mean, that's probably too much. I feel like this is probably one of those little go the long way concealers. So I'm just gonna blend that in on this eye and we'll see what it looks like next to a bare eye, and compare and contrast. So let's do that. I mean, this better be damn good because it was like 20 quid and that's a lot of money for a concealer. Honestly, I've tried like so many concealers though that there wasn't really a lot left for me to try out. So this one just sort of caught my eye and I thought I'd give it a go. And I saw a few good reviews of it on just like YouTube videos. So yeah, I figured I'd give it a go. I didn't want to try the foundation though, just because there were some other foundations that I was more interested in. Maybe eventually I'll try the foundation. Not next year though, because I'm on a no-buy. Okay, yeah, that is really good coverage actually. I'm pretty impressed with that. I was worried that because it is sort of like a squeezy tube kind of concealer, like my past experience with concealers in that sort of format is that they tend to be quite like oily and sticky. But I don't feel like this one looks super oily actually. I'd say it actually probably has more of a matte finish, but without being like super drying or anything. Yeah, I feel like I like the formula. I feel like is that full coverage? Honestly, I would say that's full coverage. I can't really see my veins. Can't really see my bag. I feel like that's full coverage. And I do enjoy full coverage. That is what I like in a concealer. It's definitely a little bit creasy on the under eyes. I will say that. A little bit more than the average concealer. So I'm just going to get both eyes in the frame. I'm going to look up. And I'm going to look down. Honestly, I think that's done a really good job. I'm actually really impressed with it. Like, the only thing I will note is that it does like settle in your under eye creases a little bit more than the average concealer. But that might be, if I'm applying it over foundation, that might not be as bad. So I'm going to wipe that off my under eye, and I'm just going to go ahead and use it as a base for eyeshadow, because why not? I already showed you it once, but I'm going to show you it again. For eyeshadow, I got the Sample Beauty, the Blooming Lovely palette. So I think usually this is like £21, but it was on sale for £10.50, so like half price. I thought, I've got to get that. And a couple months ago, I tried the Equalizer Volume 2 palette, which is this one here. It's already looking very dirty. I've obviously used this quite a bit. You can see that it's kind of been well used. This is going to be in an updated makeup review very soon. That video is being filmed in a few weeks' time. I really enjoyed this and was impressed with the formula of it, so it made me want to try some more from the brand, because I knew that they had a lot of really nice looking palettes. So I decided to go with this one just because it looks so eye-catching. I mean, it is just visually very appealing. It's mostly mattes, but there's about 5 shimmers, and then there's this purple one that sort of looks kind of like a matte shimmer hybrid. But it's mostly mattes, but there are a few shimmers, and some of the shimmers are sort of look absolutely stunning. But yeah, £10.50 for this. And I've got a feeling the quality is going to be good just based on the other Sample Beauty palette I've tried and knowing that I liked the quality of that one. I feel like that's an absolute bargain, so I really hope this doesn't disappoint me. Now obviously this is an incredibly colourful palette, and I feel like I just need to go a bit out there and do a super colourful look today. I feel like maybe I should do something rainbow, you know? Come on, I mean, this is like my penultimate first impressions video of the year. Should we just go out there? I am going to go off camera and do one eye, and then I will repeat the process on camera. Let's hope I can make something nice. Okay, we are back with some eyeshadow. I sort of on some sort of pastel rainbow thing. I feel like it looks better in person than it does on camera, but then I feel like what I see in the viewfinder never looks the same as how it looks when I'm editing it, so who bloody knows. But let's go ahead and do this again. Okay, so the first shade we're starting with is Periwinkle, which is a sort of pastel lilac sort of shade. I'm applying that in the crease area in the inner third. Let's just pat out these creases first. And like the sort of pastel-y shades in this palette are like really pigmented, and like I feel like that's impressive for pastel shades, because like they tend to be quite like difficult to make pigmented, but like as you can see, like it shows up really good for a pastel shade. And then next to that we're using this sort of minty blue shade called Drooping. This one here, and that's just going in the crease area just next to the lilac. Really impressed with these pastel shades. And then next to that we're using the pastel yellow shade called Pollen. Interesting name. And same thing, just in the outer third. I have to say, I feel like these are the best pastel shades that I've like ever used. Like the fact that they're pastel but like they still show up super well is like brilliant. So impressed. I'm now going in with this sort of neon pink shade called Petal, this one here, and that's going underneath the Periwinkle shade in the inner third. And again, these mattes are also really pigmented, as you can see. Honestly, really not got much to complain about. And then next to that we're going in with this sort of dark purple shade called Water, this one here, and that's going underneath the blue in the middle. Then we're going in with the more neon yellow called Save the Bees. Yeah, that's the second sort of bee-related name going on. I mean, saying that, we've got hay fever, we've got petal, bouquet, oxygen. So actually there's quite a lot of, you know, like flower, bees related names, which actually probably does make sense because the palette's called the Blooming palette. So yeah, they've got a whole theme going on, you know. Just noticing all of this now, apparently. So this shade is going underneath the more pastel yellow in the outer third. I will say, out of all the shades I've used, I feel like the water shade with dark purple matte, I feel like there's a little bit of like blending issues with that one. I don't know if it's just like with these particular colours, but this one I feel like is requiring a bit more work than the other shades, but I don't have anything to complain about with the other shades. That's the only one that I'm really having any minor issues with. I'm also going to add a little bit this sort of yellowy orange shade called Anther. This one here, kind of in the same area where I put the yellow. Just add a little bit more depth. Okay, so the one thing that this palette is lacking is a matte white, saying that it also doesn't have a matte black. So that's the one thing that, you know, this palette could have going for it, but my other Sample Beauty palette does have a matte white and a matte black in, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the white in the other Sample Beauty palette I have, just because I need something to blend out under the brow bone. And I'm just going to do a bit more blending with all of the shades, really, just get it how I like it. Okay, so now going back to the concealer, and I'm just going to do a cut crease. It's not a super big one, just quite a centered cut crease. Let's see if I can get it symmetrical. I somehow managed to keep getting concealer all over my eyelashes instead of actually where I want it though. Over that cut crease, I'm mainly using the shimmer shade called Occasion. This is absolutely stunning. It's so pigmented, it's a beautiful shade. It definitely applies better with a finger than a brush, I will say. But I love shimmers that look like sort of glittery, but without actually being glitters. They're just some of my favourites. So that's going mostly in like the inner third. And honestly, that shade is just stunning. I'm also using a bit of the blue shimmer called Above, this one here, in the rest of that cut crease. This shade is also really stunning too. Okay, so I'm now going back to some of the matte shades I used before, doing a little bit of blending. Okay, so I just cleaned up the edge, done a little bit more blending. I'm happy with how it's turned out. I'm really just... Rainbow looks just aren't my forte. I just find them really difficult to do. It's something that I just feel like I just need to keep practicing and practicing, so I guess that's kind of what I'm doing today. I mean, I feel like it looks better in person than it does on camera. But then again, I don't know. I won't know until I'm editing it how it actually looks like. But I have to say, really impressed with the palette. The pastel matte's great. These shimmers, stunning. The more brighter mattes were pretty good. The only one I had issues with was that kind of dark purple. But again, I don't know if it's just because of the colours I was using it with, and maybe it performs better with a different sort of look. I don't know. But regardless, I'm super impressed with this eyeshadow palette. Yeah, definitely would recommend it. £10.50 bargain. I mean, it's probably not on sale anymore, unfortunately, but I'm glad I picked it up. Okay, so I don't have any eyeliners or anything to try out, so we're going to move straight on to mascara. So the mascara that we're going to be trying out today is from Missguided. This is their Oh Eyelash Length and Definition Fiber Mascara. So I did try a different I have tried a mascara from Missguided earlier this year in the summertime. I can't remember what it's called. It's in my drawers, let me find it. It was this one here, the Real Thick Lash Mega Volume Mascara, and I actually thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. But I did see that they had this other mascara that had really good reviews. A lot of people were really raving about it. So I figured, well, I liked the first mascara I tried from them, so surely I'll like this one. I guess we'll find out today. That's what the wand looks like, a sort of cone shaped. I like that wand. So I did manage to get a little concealer in my eyelashes when I was doing this eyeshadow. So I'm hoping that doesn't interfere with the mascara too much. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my top lashes. Okay, that mascara, that's insane. That's done a really good job. I love that. Wow, I think I like that even more than the other Missguided mascara. That's done a phenomenal job. It's given volume, it's given length, it's like separating at the same time. It doesn't clump your lashes together. I think because the wand is just a like really good shape for just like separating your lashes out. But wow, I am really impressed with that. Oh my god, that's a nice mascara. This could be a new like favourite. I really like that. That's probably one of the best ones I've tried this year, you know. So, you know, it's December. It just about qualifies for the yearly favourites, you know. I think it's a contender, that's for sure. I love that. That's really good. Fantastic mascara. I mean, just look at that. And that's on first use. And I feel like mascaras tend to get better the more you use them. And that's just on first use. That, wow, love that. Okay, so we're going to move on to base now. So I have actually got a primer. This is the Revolution Pro Eternal Rose Glow Perfecting Cream with vitamin E. So glowy sort of primer, that's what I usually like. Looks like this. Very nice, sleek packaging. It is informing me that I need to shake it well before use. So I will follow those instructions. And it doesn't sound like anything's moving around in there. Okay, so it's sort of like a white cream. Ooh, I can see like the shimmer in that. Ooh. So I'm gonna probably, the last time I used a primer, which was in my Note Cosmetics video, I put way too much on. So I'm gonna be cautious with this. Ooh, it smells super nice as well. Like kind of fruity. A little bit alcohol-y though. Like cocktail alcohol though, not like, you know, like vodka alcohol. Like nice alcohol. You know, like a sort of like rum punch kind of cocktail thing. Something sort of like Hawaiian-y. Now I just want cocktails. Oh my god. I want some cocktails at Turtle Bay. I like that. It's quite, I like that. It's a sort of subtle glow, but you can definitely see it there. It's just kind of like a moisturizer kind of texture. So it's quite like hydrating, but it still feels like a little bit tacky as well, which I guess is good for like your makeup gripping on top of it. Yeah, honestly, not really got much to complain about. It's done what I wanted it to do. It's given me illumination without making me look like overly oily. So yeah, nice primer. For foundation, we have this guy. This is the Flower Beauty. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. So I know this is a foundation that's very popular with a lot of people. I think I've had a few people in my comments suggesting that I try it. It's just a very well-loved foundation. The thing that I feel like has put me off trying it in the past is that obviously it's like kind of like a luminous thing, and I generally tend to go for more matte formulas. But I saw like a few reviews saying that it doesn't look like super oily. It's just kind of like a more sort of natural luminosity. So I'm hoping that it isn't going to be like super duper dewy. I don't mind like a little bit of dew, that's fine. I just don't like it when it's just like oil slick of a face. So I'm hoping that this guy doesn't do that. But I guess we'll see. I got this in the shade Shell, I think, which was the lightest shade, which I've heard is like meant to be like a good shade for pale skin, apparently. I don't think they have the most extensive shade range. It probably could be a bit better from what I saw. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I feel like that shade looks pretty good. It's definitely quite fair. I feel like that should match me pretty decently. The undertone seems quite like neutral. It doesn't seem super warm or super pink. It just seems quite neutral, I would say. So let's whack this on. Let's see what it does for me. Yeah, I feel like that shade's going to be a pretty decent match. So yeah, pale skin, this shade does work, I would say. Okay, so I applied a decent amount of that foundation. Like, it definitely is dewy. Like, this is probably more dewy than what I would usually go for, but I feel like compared to other foundations I've used that have more of a dewy finish, I feel like this one looks better than those. Like, is it sitting in my texture a bit? Yes, it is. But at the same time, I feel like it looks quite healthy, quite natural. There's something that I like about the way it looks, but at the same time, it is sitting in my texture a bit, and that is something that I don't love. But the thing is, like, when it would come to a foundation like this, I would just use setting powder anyway. So if I'm using like a setting powder that's quite like smoothing, then really that texture probably will just go away. It looks super like healthy, it's super like radiant, like it's a nice foundation and it's got a decent amount of coverage. It's definitely like quite buildable coverage because I did go in with like a second layer. I would say the coverage is like high medium. I wouldn't say it's like quite full coverage. I don't think it's quite on that level, but I feel like the vibes that this foundation is going for is that more sort of like coverage but like natural skin sort of thing. Like I like it, like I kind of like it, but I'm kind of like not sure about it at the same time. But I can see like people that are into like super like glowy radiant bases like absolutely loving this, and I know a lot of people do absolutely love this, and because like a lot of people are really into that sort of dewy vibe. It's just never really, I've just never personally been super into it, but I can see why people like it. I'm gonna go back to the RCMA concealer now, which from trying it earlier I liked it, so we're gonna see how it looks over foundation. So I'm gonna put a bit on my eyes, a bit on my nose, and just over any blemishes I have. I do really like the shade of this. Oh god, the coverage. I could just instantly see that in my eye area, the coverage difference. Used to my skin looking this dewy. Okay, that concealer has fantastic coverage. Like I could just like instantly see the difference when I was applying it over my under eyes and my spots. Like really good, love the shade. I feel like it's blended pretty nicely over the top of that foundation. I am just looking very dewy right now. It's like dewy, but then like I kind of like don't mind how my skin looks right now. I feel like once I set it, it will probably look better. Though I have to say, I am a little bit worried when it comes to setting powder. I actually have two that I'm going to try out today. So I've got another Missguided product. This is their Matte Trick Translucent powder. And I also got a powder from Danessa Myricks Beauty, and this is their Evolution powder. I got mine in the shade number 2. I wasn't sure whether to get this shade number 2 or to get the banana shade. I really couldn't like tell which one was actually lighter. I don't know, I'm a little bit worried about the colours. I'm a little bit worried that they might be a bit orangey. I don't know. I do feel like the colours look quite similar to each other though. So I'm thinking of doing like a half and half thing, just doing one powder on one side and one on the other. And hopefully the colour difference isn't too much. But the thing is, I'm not going out today, so if I look a bit silly, it's okay. We're just here to test out makeup products. One annoying thing about this Danessa Myricks powder is that the lid has this annoying thing in it so that you can't tap the powder in. That really annoys me when powders do that. So I'm going to have to like tap it into another lid. I might just end up tapping it into the Missguided lid, because that one does have a proper lid. That's what the colour of the Danessa Myricks powder looks like. I don't know, I'm just a bit worried. It looks like it might be a bit orangey, so we'll give it a go. We'll do one half of my face with it. I'm really worried about this. Also a little annoyed because this powder was quite expensive, and if I've spent that much money on a powder and then it's just too dark, it's going to be a little upsetting. Regardless, I'm going to do this side of my face with the Danessa powder first. I'm going to use a powdery sponge under my eyes, and then I will switch to a brush. so I definitely feel like it is a little bit dark. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I feel like I could probably get away with the colour, but I definitely do feel like it did darken my base a little bit. It seems to have mattified pretty well. It seems to look relatively smooth. I'm not noticing any weird separation under the eyes. So far so good. Colour just isn't perfect, to be honest. Right, so now switching over to the Missguided powder. So this is the translucent shade. Again, I feel like this looks like a bit dark. I'm also scared of this powder, to be honest. But hey, at least it might match the other side this way. Just don't really get how that could be translucent because it's like a kind of dark beige sort of colour. Let's be open-minded. I think this came in like 2 shades. And I think this came in 2 shades and I don't remember what the name of the other shade. I don't know if it was a banana one or if it was a like deeper one. I'm not sure, I can't remember. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side of my face. Sponge into the eyes, powder brush and the rest of the face. Okay, so yeah, the colour definitely is a little bit dark. Not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, I feel like, I don't know, could I get away with this? I feel like I do, my neck does look slightly lighter than my face, definitely. But not as bad as I thought it might turn out. And I feel, again, I don't really have any issues with the formula here. I feel like it's done a pretty smoothing job. Everything looks mattified. Everything looks pretty smooth. I feel like both powders, formula-wise, have done a decent job. I actually think I probably like the formula of the Missguided one a little bit more, maybe. I feel like, yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like the Missguided one is a bit smoother looking. I feel like there's some areas with the Danessa one where like it's kind of sat a bit weird over like spots on my face. Like almost gone a little bit flaky. Slightly, I don't know. Okay, so now we're going to move on to cheek. So the bronzer, I got a product from Kimchi, which is their Tailor bronzer. In the shade, I went to Malibu, which was the lightest shade. And like I was debating back and forth about whether I wanted to get this or not, just because I felt like the shade selection, I wasn't sure if this was going to be like light enough or not. And I've heard apparently they are releasing like more shades of this. But again, I was just sort of like, I don't know, I just got a bit swept up in the Black Friday sales, you know, and I was just like, fuck it, let's just get it. Packaging is adorable. That's what the shade looks like, and like I'm a little bit apprehensive, to be honest. I am worried that this is gonna look a bit dark on me, but we'll give it a go. I mean, my base makeup is looking slightly dark anyway, so maybe it will suit this complexion. It's definitely got a lot of pigment, that is for sure. It's picking up a lot on the brush here. Just gonna whack this on all my usual bronzing spots. The colour isn't perfect, but I don't think it's too bad. Like, it's not as bad as I thought it might show up. It's quite like chiseling, definitely. Hopefully this blends out nicely. So I feel like with my base makeup looking slightly dark, I feel like it actually suits the base makeup on that I have now. But I feel like if my colour match was better, it might show up a bit darker. But I'm not disliking it, and the formula seems really nice. It seems to be blending out well. So yeah, I don't know actually. I mean, not bad. I need to try it when I've got a base makeup that's matching me a bit better, because I feel like on this base it looks really good. But you know, this is the kind of base where I feel like I need to wear a bit of like a turtleneck or something with it. Formula is really good. I have heard they are expanding the shade selection, so that is good. At the same time though, I'm on a no buy, so am I going to be able to buy the lighter shade if they come out with a lighter shade, that is? Not next year, no, but I probably would buy, I'm not going to lie, I probably would end up buying it the year after. Another Kimchi product, this is their blush palette. This is called Cheeky Threesome. Lovely name. This is 01 Just a Pinch. I think they have like about 3 different sort of colour variants of this blush trio. The packaging is gorgeous. I love the Kimchi packaging though. It's just beauts. this is what the shades look like. So you've got this sort of kind of neon pastel-y pink in the middle, which I did find quite intriguing. And then you've got a more sort of like corally one and a more sort of just like standard neutral pink. I like all the shades, to be honest. I would say they're pretty up my street. As I said, I am doing 2 first impressions this month and I didn't get any other blush products, so whichever shades I don't try out today, I will try out in that video. I feel like I really want to try this like sort of fluorescent pink in the middle. It's just calling to me, and I feel like it will complement the eyeshadow too, so I'm going to try this one in the middle I think today, and then I'll probably go for the like more corally one in the next video. Okay, it's definitely a pigmented, oh, I love it. It's like proper bubblegum pink. Oh, I love that. It's quite like out there, like it's not like it's not like a conventional sort of blush shade, but I like it. I'm hoping it blends out though because I've put quite a lot on. It does blend out. I do feel like it needs a little bit of work when it comes to the blending, but it does blend out nicely, and now I think that looks, oh, that's so cute. I love that. That's such a unique shade. It's not like anything I've got in my collection. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Moving on to highlighter now, I've got a Physicians Formula product. This is their Mineral Wear Diamond Dust. That's what she looks like. Packaging is very nice. It looks like this. It looks like beautiful. It swatches quite sheer, so I'm a little bit apprehensive about this. We'll see how it translates onto the face. I tend to have an issue with a lot of loose setting powders, like affecting the way my highlighter shows up. So we'll see if that is an issue with the Missguided and the Danessa powder. I feel like this is one of these sort of like wet looking highlighters, more so than like a strong pigment. I feel like it's kind of going for, you know, that Fenty, what's it called? The Diamond Bomb? Is that what it's called? I feel like it's going for that sort of vibe. So maybe this is like a kind of dupe for that. Okay, you know what? We are getting something. We are getting something. Okay, so yeah, if you like that Diamond Bomb highlighter from Fenty, I feel like you'd probably quite like this. It's really similar, the formula. It does take quite a lot of building, I will say. I feel like once you have built it up though, it does look really pretty. It's quite glittery, but like in a nice way. It's almost sort of like a translucent kind of highlighter. It's just sort of like wet looking, glittery looking. I do like it. It's probably not my go-to formula for a highlighter, but there is something that I like about it, you know. I do like that sort of wet, kind of glittery look, sort of translucent look almost it has on the skin. There's something I like about it, but I don't think this would be to everyone's taste, and it's not the sort of thing where it's not the sort of highlight formula that I would reach for super often. But there's something I kind of like about it, you know. It's an interesting formula, but if you're definitely into the Diamond Bomb by Fenty, then I feel like this is kind of like a dupe for that. Okay, we're going to move on to eyebrows now. I've got a gel and a pencil to try out. The gel is from Sosu Suan Jackson. It's the Brow Beautiful Tinted Brow Gel in the shade 03 Medium Warm. Packaging looks like this, and it's got a nice small wand. I like the shape of that wand. The shade just looks like a standard kind of dark brown. I've also got a pencil. This is from Physicians Formula. This is their Slim Brow Pencil, and this is in medium brown. Are they both medium brown? Okay, that's what we're going for today, I guess. And it looks like this. It's got sort of metallic packaging. You've got your spoolie on one end, and it is just a twisty up brow pencil. So we're going to use the gel first, and then we'll use the pencil to structure the brows a little bit more. So we're just going to see how much excess this brow gel has. It does have a bit of excess, it's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and brush this through my brows. Okay, it's done an okay job. I don't love it. I just feel like I've tried a lot better brow gels this year. It's quite thick and quite intensely pigmented. It doesn't look the most natural, but it's done an okay job. It's not too bad. I don't think it's going to be a favourite for me, but but I'm not like detesting it or anything. I definitely feel like I need to structure them a bit more, so we're going to use the Physicians Formula pencil. Again, the shade looks pretty similar to the brow gel, so I'm going to use this and just create a bit more structure. I mean, I would say the pencil's done a pretty good job. I obviously need to use it on its own or with different brow gels before I can fully say how much I like it, but yeah, seems to have worked pretty well. I do feel like my brows look a little bit like bolder and thicker than what I would usually do with them, but hey ho. Okay, back to eyes. I'm gonna see if I can get this Physicians Formula highlighter to show up in the inner corner. I feel like it might apply better with a smaller brush. Okay, back to the palette. I have no idea what to put on the bottom lash line, if I should do something similar to the top or something different. I don't know. I think I might just keep it quite similar actually, so I'm going to start with Periwinkle again, the lilac, and in a third bottom lash line. Basically, I'm just going to kind of mirror the first 3 pastel shades I used on the bottom lash line to start with, and then we'll see what I'm feeling after that. And again, I think I'm going to use the darker matte shades that I used on the top lash line as well, and just stamp them right up to the lash line. I think I'm just going to put a bit of this yellow eyeliner in my waterline. Okay, so we're going to go back to the Missguided mascara and put some of this on the bottom lashes. Okay, I have to say, I think the eyes have come together really well. Again, don't know if it looks as good as it looks in person, but I'm actually really digging the eye look now. Okay, so for lips, I don't have any new lipsticks, but I decided to get another shade of a lipstick that I already tried earlier this year, which was the Missguided Gimme Lip Matte Lipsticks. I tried the shade, I think the shade I had before was called Note to Self. Wait a minute, I've got it. Yeah, it was called Note to Self, and it's this sort of colour. It's a kind of brownie nude. Really enjoyed this. It was definitely like my favourite lipstick I tried this year. So I thought, you know what? Let's just, you know, let's get another shade. So this one I would say is more of a pinky nude, but it is definitely still a nude. This shade is called Whole Mood. There just wasn't really any new lipsticks that will catch my eye, so I thought, well, why not just go for something that you know you like the formula of. And you've said you wanted to try different shades of before anyway, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to give this shade a go. It is obviously a pinky nude, and I know I like the formula, it's just whether or not I'm going to like this shade. The shade is quite pale actually. I don't know if I like that shade by itself. I think what I might actually do is wipe that off, maybe put the other shade on and then layer that over the top. I think that might look better. I'm gonna try the other shade I have, Note to Self. Right, I'm gonna go back to Whole Mood now and put a bit of this on over that, but not too much. I like that a lot better. So I feel like the shade, I don't really like it by itself because it is super like pale. But with like a different lipstick underneath or like a darker lip liner, yeah, I'm happy with that now. I do have a setting spray. This is from Urban Decay. It's the All Nighter Ultra Glow Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. I'm going to try this, but first I'm going to sort my hair out and clean up any mess I've made. Okay, so we're back with the finished look. So we're going to test out the All Nighter Ultra Glow. So I have tried the original All Nighter, and I feel like that's probably one of the only setting sprays I've used where I feel like it does help with the longevity of my makeup. I don't really feel like it ever does anything for like the finish of my skin. It just more so helps with it wearing well, whereas I feel like with this, It's kind of like, it's supposed to give you a bit of glow, and it's also supposed to be like long wearing, so I feel like that's kind of what I want really. This was expensive, but it was in the sale, so I thought I'd treat myself to it. I did decide to get the full size one as well. I was like, should I just get the mini or should I just get the full size? And I decided that I deserve the full size because I've worked a long week. Alright, we're going to give this a big old shake and a big old spray. Obviously I won't be able to tell you in this video if it helps with the wear of my foundation. But obviously I will be trying this out for a while, so it will be an updated review, so I will be able to tell you. Okay, let's go. I'm definitely noticing some additional glow, additional dew. It's definitely added like moisture into my skin. I like it. I feel like that's kind of done a good job. It smells like the original. I'm hoping it has the same sort of like thing as with the original where it helps with the wear, but I do feel like that has added a nice sort of glow to the skin. I kind of want more. Give me more. Feels nice, very refreshing. Yeah, it's definitely just like making my highlighter pop more. It's definitely, I like it. I do like it. That is the first impressions video of this month done. I will be doing a second one. Not all of the products have arrived for that one yet, but it will be up shortly after this video. But to summarize my thoughts on the products, things that kind of stand out to me as favorites, I would say the RCMA concealer I was really impressed with that. Eyeshadow palette, of course, from Sample Beauty, I was really impressed with that. Mascara from Missguided, the Oh High Lash Length and Definition Fiber Mascara. I think this is probably my favorite thing that I've tried today, actually. Like, these lashes though. Yes, please. Absolutely love that. Fantastic. Kimchi blush was really nice. The bronzer actually I feel like worked good, but obviously I do need to try it when my makeup is matching me a bit better. But the formula was good. Sort of in two minds about the Physicians Formula highlighter. Like, I kind of like it, but it's not like my go-to sort of formula because it is quite sort of translucent almost. I kind of like it though. Like, I feel like, and also adding that Urban Decay setting spray, I feel like it's made it pop more as well. So, kind of like it. Again, the foundation, I'm not sure about this too. I like the coverage. I like that it looks quite natural and not too heavy. It is just quite dewy, and that isn't what I usually go for. I feel like I need a bit more time with this guy. Sort of mixed thoughts on this, but if you are into a dewy base, I feel like you probably would really like this. And the setting powders, I feel like both of them have a nice finish. Like, my skin looks smooth, and considering that the base I had was quite like oily and a bit textury, I feel like that makes it even more impressive how smooth. I feel like the Missguided one in particular looks super smooth. However, both of them I just feel like look a little bit orangey on my skin. I feel like if I had a foundation on that was super pale, maybe I could get it to work. Someone did leave me a comment on my most recent video about adding like a sort of lilac or purple coloured powder over like a base if it's a bit too yellowy, a bit too orangey. So that's something that I might try out. Thank you for that tip, by the way. But I like the formula of both of them, but I think I prefer the Missguided one just because I feel like the Danessa one, like on my spots, I feel like it kind of went a bit weird, but then I don't know. And now that it's kind of settled on my skin, I feel like that flakiness has kind of gone away now though. I might be the setting spray like sort of meshing things together maybe. I think like both of them are like nice powders. It's just the shades are not perfect for me. I don't love the brow gel. It's done an okay job, but I don't love it. Physicians Formula brow pencil, I can't really say too much about because I've only used it just kind of on my arch today. I need to try that some more, definitely. And I like the formula of the lipstick, but the shade maybe wasn't my favourite, but layered over the top of things, I think I will like it. And Urban Decay setting spray, very nice. So yeah, overall pretty good products here. All of this obviously will be in an updated makeup review. This is not the last time I will speak about it. And yes, I will have a second first impressions video up very soon, trying some more products. That's it for this video, so thank you for watching. See you in my next one. Goodbye.